Hello and welcome to the Backtesting channel. All sorts of people are watching YouTube videos to learn how to trade. Some of them are even watching mine. People from all over the world, young, old, experienced, male, female, all wanting to learn how to trade in some form or fashion. Some of those people want to be a long-term buy and hold, which is the traditional way of trading. You buy stock, hold it for a long period of time as an investment. And then after 10 or 20 years, that investment should grow, especially if you picked up strong companies. There's other types of traders that try to catch a trend. You buy at a low and then ride it all the way up to high, like you would have done if you bought Apple several years ago, or Tesla, and ride the trend on up. Others are swing traders trying to capture the high and the lows of the market, and are more shorter term type traders, in and out, maybe in about 2 months, anywhere from 3 days to 2 months. Some people, especially younger traders, want to get in and try to make a quick dollar and make it in a day. In other words, they'll try to look for things on the chart that will indicate that the market is about to move and make bets on that. Scalping is even shorter, or you're in and out in 1 or 2 minutes. And then I noticed lately, for this past year, there's a lot of wishing and hoping type traders where you go online, read a blog like Wall Street Bets, find out that GameStop is everybody's buying, get in on the trend and ride it up. It's kind of like playing hot potato, where you pass the potato to the next person until the last person gets stuck holding the potato, and then everybody else is out. Usually a lot of people lose on that on the way down. And that's what happened with GameStop. There was a lot of losers on that. All of these type traders can be successful, but today I want to talk about swing trading and what skills and what it takes to maybe successfully trade and swing trade, which I feel is one of the easier ways of making investments. Well, a lot of people think that all you need to do is look at a chart in order to do swing trading. This is a trading view chart of Johnson & Johnson, which is an old, very profitable company. This is the zigzag indicator, perfect indicator, but it looks in the future, so that's how it's perfect. But if you can capture, as a swing trader, if you can capture this and ride it all the way down, you've made some money. If you can capture the low here and ride it on the way up, you've made some money. Capture the low here, ride it all the way up, you'd be in the money, especially if you're all in. As I said, these lines are drawn after it gets enough data to draw the lines, and that means it looks into the future. So there's no indicator that can do this. This is a visual. But this is the MACD indicator, the stochastic RSI indicator, and the RSI indicator. And look, if you try to capture that peak when it's going back over the 20, which is a 20, you've caught a ride. So if you can use indicators along with being able to see the trends that are happening, I believe that's a skill that would make you a successful swing trader. But that's not all you need. You need to do more than just be able to look at some charts. You need to bring something to the table. And that something is understanding how the market is working, a general understanding, a good enough understanding of the market. And then I think people from all walks of life can do this. You don't need to be a Warren Buffett or go to Wharton College to study finance. You just need to know how things are working in the world. So if you want to be a trader, any trader, but particularly a swing trader, you need to have a general knowledge of the market. So looking at a tool, a free tool, FinViz, a lot of people use it, and looking at the heat map, what do you see? What's your general understanding of the market here? And if you can see that the financials did pretty well, and the big boys didn't do so well, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, you can kind of get a feel for the market. If you can see that and visually see that without even actually reading anything, then I believe you have you can take a strategic perspective of the market. You got to be able to see this stuff. Johnson & Johnson, healthcare. Healthcare stocks do well. Some did, some didn't. But Johnson & Johnson did. Not too bad. Only lost 6%. That was 0.6%, very minimal. Healthcare generally didn't lose hardly anything, and financials did well. Technology didn't. And then you need to be able to put stocks based on your feel for the market. If you're in technology, maybe thinking about getting out. If you're in financial, if you're not in financial, maybe thinking about a stock like Capital One. So one of the skills that I bring to the market is I understand spreadsheets, and I have some analytical skills, and I've taken some stocks that I know and love, and where I got these stocks are from the FinViz, and I look for the big boxes on that chart, put them here, and then I categorize them into areas of interest where I'm interested in. One of them is financial, security, e-commerce, AI, energy, green energy, that's especially with the Biden regime, technical stocks. My wife is Chinese, so I look at the Chinese stocks, and I do believe that China is going to be, this is their decade. And then when something happens in that sector, financial, I look at my financial stocks, which I have back tested using another tool called OmniBroker. So that's another skill set that I bring. I'm able to use many tools because of my programming background. I went to Penn State and studied computer programming, then went to Boston University and got my master's degree in computer science, and worked for many different large companies, both government, and I worked for NASDAQ for a little while as well in Washington, D.C., working on their market maker programs. So I have a general understanding of the market, and my computer skills have helped me. This is OmniBroker. It's a charting program, but it also allows you to do backtesting. You can write routines that'll give you signals, and you can go ahead and look at that. There's a gap down, and usually it fills the gap. It hasn't filled yet. You can write all kinds of routines that give you all kinds of signals. This is what the code looks like. So if you can code, OmniBroker has a lot of pre-coded stuff, but also it's relatively easy if you understand coding to do your own. You can make it do anything you really want. Almost make it to make coffee in the morning for you. So that's a skill I'm bringing to the table for myself, is I can use tools to analyze and try to get a picture of the market. But one more advantage that I think I have is I can do some backtesting. I could take a report, I can take a system, backtest it from January 1st or any date till now, and get the trades that system would have generated using the watch list, and that's the watch list that I have in my spreadsheet before, 240 stocks, and see what the results would be. This is the MACD long running against that, and just take a look to see if it's profitable or not. It is profitable. Would have generated $365, $3,100 in profit percentage. Let's see what my win rate would be. Winners is 72%, and losers, how many trades? That's important. 216 trades for that year. That's okay. And every time I placed a trade, I would have made $14, $15. So based on this scenario, using that indicator, the MACD, this indicator, this one, taking trades that are below, long trades that are below the zero line, or short trades that are above the zero line, I would have had some winners. 71% of the time I would have won, and the other time I would have lost. So using the MACD, it gives me about a 70% rate for the last year. Now, that's just back testing. It has no indication of what it's going to do in the future, but it gives me some faith in my trading strategy, which in my case is I start with some good stocks that I know and love, that I analyze. And so that means if you want to swing trade, you need to understand some stocks, not all 8,000 of them, but maybe 10, 20, 30. In my case, I know a little about 240. Pick some simple indicators. I use the RSI or the MACD or the stochastic RSI. And then I place my trades using some good risk-reward techniques. I'm trying to get 5% profit of every trade, but I oftentimes take profit early. That's one of my weaknesses. And I try to keep the stop loss at 2%, and sometimes I set them too early and get stopped out. That's another weakness. But my strength is I have a big picture of my trading strategy. I keep it simple, pick some stocks, try to have some good risk reward, and generally I've been winning. Now, to be a swing trader, you really have to take some risk. And so there's no sure thing. And so you have to be willing to lose some to win some. And my parents owned a restaurant, and restaurant businesses, even in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, those businesses were common, but there was a lot of risk involved. And to be in any kind of business today, it's some risk. And so I'm a risk taker, and I think to be a swing trader, you need to be a risk taker as well. You have to have an entrepreneur mindset where you want to be in business, make some money, but because you have a profitable trading system, you have a plan. Now, one of my weaknesses is sometimes I second guess my system. I don't trust my system or whatever. I read too much, do too much analysis, and don't trust the system. And another thing I do and make a mistake is I get out too early and I don't stay in long enough. In other words, as soon as I would have had profit, I would have got out. Or as soon as I start taking a loss, I get out. I don't stay in for the whole run. Likewise, as soon as I would have received some profit, I would have got out and wouldn't have took the ride down. Staying in is a trick. To be a successful swing trader, you need to find stocks that you like to trade, but also you need to find stocks that trade well with your trading system. Now, if you're fairly young and you maybe want to trade the lower price stocks, I tend to trade more stable stocks because I believe that you can use indicators better on those kind of things. But if you want to do penny stocks, you need to find stocks that are swinging. This is penny stock, but there is some swing there, and you might be able to use the indicators for that. There's no swing there. I don't know what happened there, but that doesn't seem like a lot of swing there either. But there is some swing here, and these are penny stocks. So you need to find, this is a good swing there. You need to find stocks that are swinging if you're a penny stock trader. But the more stable companies swing a lot, like John Deere, and you can predict this stuff a lot with your indicators. Look at the nice steady flows with your indicators. I think to be a successful swing trader, you need to read the news. I like to read the news from investing.com. Another free tool out there. Gives a good survey and summary every morning early. Nice summary here for next week. What to look for. Written in a nice, simple 5 or 6 bullet type thing. Market rotation here talking about. And that's where I was talking about picking stocks in certain categories. I like to read tip ranks. They have a news area. It's more focused on stocks, and this is written very simply as well. But also, it allows you to go ahead and do some analysis. It's free. They have a free version and a paid version. The paid version gives you more of the portfolios of the various different analysts. But Johnson & Johnson's trading at 170, expected to go to 194, and right now most analysts are putting it as a neutral. I usually like to buy stocks up here in 7s, 8s, 9s, and I'll short a stock when it's sitting between 5 and below. These are all nice tools in order to swing trade. I believe to be a successful swing trader, you need to have a good work ethic, you need to be persistent and patient, and you must have some discipline. In other words, be able to track your stocks on a spreadsheet. By the way, this is my report that I get of all the signals for Monday's trades. But I also track my stocks and trades here. And I also have the open trades that I'm currently in right here. Excuse me, that's not the open trades, but let me get the open trades. But those are open. My tracking is, here we are, open trades currently. And you can see that I have a big loser here in Neo. But the rest of everything else doesn't seem to be too bad at the moment. And then the closed trades since May. And that doesn't look too bad. Some small winners there, but hey, We had a couple last 2 weeks weren't so hot, and so I track. So you have to have some discipline, and you can't worry about losing too big. That's why I keep my risk reward to be about 3%. Profit between 3 and 5%, and stop loss at 2%. Trading with a small account. I trade with a bigger account, but if you were trading with a small account, these are the sizes that you would probably expect. So what am I bringing to the table? I think my programming skills. I have at least $5,000, which gives me some $5,000 margin, so it lets me play. That's what I think you need. I have more money. I have my retirement account. I'm playing with that on the stock market. It's much larger. But yeah, I think the swing trade you need at least $5,000. But you can start with 500. It's possible. I think you need to have some knowledge of some basic strategies and some indicators. I think the MACD, which a lot of people start out with, is a good one. The stochastic RSI, or you pick right here when it crosses above the 20, you take a position, and then that would have been a winner. Or the RSI, when it goes in the oversold or overbought, which is 30, below 30, it comes back around. That would have been early, but you would have ended up winning after 5 days. This is daily chart. So I think to be a successful swing trader, you need to have an overall perspective. You need to bring something to the table that what gives you an edge. My edge is I can backtest various different strategies and have some reliability and faith in my strategy. I'm older, and I have some experience, and so that helps me. I'm focused on a few stocks, not the whole stock market, which gives me an advantage over the big companies. I can get in and out, which the bigger companies can't. It takes them a while to kind of weave out of a position. And I like what I'm doing. And one last thing, since I started doing these videos, my trading has improved because I get more eyes on it. So sharing has really, really enhanced my trading. And I'm becoming more confident and being able to talk about it a lot easier as the time goes on. My videos are improving as well. So, by the way, please like and subscribe to these videos because I'd like to see more eyes on it and more peer review. And I'd like to see more discussion and argument with my strategies and also tell me about yours. So the last thing I want to leave you with is if you were going to do some swing trading or any kind of trading, what skills, what advantage do you have over me and others? What are you bringing to the table that make you successful? Just come up with one skill. Mine, I like to say, I have several. I have some backgrounds. I have some education, some programming skills, and I have some work experience. Those give me an advantage. But you can still trade without any of that. You just need to have an understanding, a general understanding of the market, and you get that by watching videos and using the tools that are out there, the free tools, and also take some subscriptions. And you can do this. You can actually take a class too if you want to, or buy a class. But I believe you can find a lot of this stuff free on the internet and get started. And don't expect it to take one day or two. You have to be persistent and patient with this. And I believe everybody can learn to do some sort of trading and investing. Good luck. Happy trading. Please like and subscribe this video. And I hope I motivated you to maybe start looking at swing trading and maybe start following my blog. Good luck on Monday.